mean, it's fine. When you do look here, yeah, they're always like, put this away, put that away, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah. No, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. We were gone on Tuesday. Did any of your fish make it? A little while. They're all kind of going. Yeah. Because I was like, people would be like, do they know fish need water? Do they know this works well? Yeah. Because it is. Until we can update all that, it'll be a while. They're like, they tore down that restaurant. I mean, I know that's pretty quite outside.
Well, it is about time to get started. We are still on lesson 9 in our Evangelizing workbook. Be able to meet with your people and to be able to study your word, Lord. Realize how lost we were with us and to give
and willing to follow the other classes here, so they can have class learn more about you. And we ask you, Lord, to be
there's in this lesson. This is more kind of how we're about the mass media, which we talk about. And the other one is basically the door to door, not plan. And we're going to, we've got a few updates Sunday morning. That they would like to share with us. Right now, it is an evangelist. Matter of fact, I want you to think of somebody that you got, and I think it's to mind to you. Okay. Take that name, if you've got a pen, write it down in your book. And over your I'm just going to kind of go around the room. What can we do between now and Sunday? Maybe to start to reach to anybody. The other person is the gospel. What can I do?
ask what their favorite verse is.
Just a great icebreaker right there. What's my favorite verse? You know, that gets that spiritual Christian. What's your favorite verse? Okay, and it doesn't have that, does it? Just trying to get it started. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
My person wouldn't know.
Got to the ladies that is of a spiritual. And Kathy, did you have?
I was going to say my person wouldn't know what verse. She doesn't know the Bible.
Right.
And I've been working.
It is, and it's a shame. How important this is, and might have to work at that angle, and 20 enough to get that. Anybody else with some ideas of how you can start that conversation and just kind of down the road this person that you have in mind? Invite them. Invite them to worship services. Invite them maybe over for a cup of coffee while you're there. A cup of coffee, have prayer. A lot of people pique that interest. There is nothing more important, nothing more important than that. And nothing else we do somebody else than to impress upon is temporary. It's temporary. Okay? Eternity is forever. And the thing about it, get them to understand. Right? Yeah, that's another good thing. If somebody asks, we get that request a lot. Remember, it, it's difficult. Along the things you could, it's just material that you can interested in that. You may can find creed. We talked about it. Okay, we don't the entire Bible is written by us. It does not have to be based on sending information that they can in that area. I'm sure there's some folks here that might help you do that. Any other ideas that they know they need? Write that name down at the top of first page of lesson 10. Okay, write that name down so you're, even if it's just a okay, we need and get that started. Anything else lines from anybody? Okay. All right, well, let's go on then our lesson and do the congregation. A lot of these things we could involve ourselves in individually as well. Okay. So just because the congregation may not be doing some of these things, we may do them ourselves if we think it would be beneficial. The mass we talked about some Sunday morning. We talked about sending out information through snail mail, post office. And I have got some information here, some more stuff we picked up that this is good for us. Pass those around, just hand them around. If you want to keep one per family, I think there's probably a dozen of them. I don't know if there's enough for everybody. That card is basically just good references, Bible references for different subjects that may already the Bible, baptism, examples of conversions. What about faith only, false teachers? Several subjects that are on this card. Was there anybody else that might have wanted one of these that didn't get one?
I've got a couple of them. I'm just taking a picture of mine, so there's a couple more.
Okay. On stuff like that, nothing else, you can write it on there. These are all pre-printed, not written. I did not until you see it, and I did get. This is one that's grace, faith, and works. Okay, another good information. This would be something to, okay. Just kind of spread. Just good information to have. Things that just to hang out when you run across somebody. So, and it's how you obtain the grace and how you obtain the reward. So I'll let y'all have one of those. This also shares many of these reference materials. If you don't get one, you should sit in front of the class. Find the verse that you need. This is a really good course. just basic, very short fill in the blank thing. The first one is, if I can get my, does not take long to go through these. Doesn't take long at all. So, I'm going to just a little bit. Something very good to have. You can give out. Okay. When it comes time to talk to somebody, we don't have to have all the information ourselves. Okay. We can actually understand it, but examples you can get out to people. Okay. And talk about your plan, information that we're trying to get out to us that we've talked about a couple. And it's easy to have one like forget, but again, we talk about to a restaurant. If you get a cashier, and it doesn't matter whether they're nice or not. Okay, just things out. I'm supposed to share this, but yes, and this is going to be some of these pros are going to be actually all the mass media uh, comes in. Interesting. I'll lay it down over here and I'll come back. The content of this was they go in the trash. Okay. Select the areas. How many miles around the building? You want very selective with some of this. Because that's going to be the problem with most of this. We talked about email. We can send out the same information. All this stuff can be scanned. It can be sent out. Another great okay, if you want to send a link to a sermon or to the church website or something like that, it's there. We've got people we have here with our contacts. The people that we know that are in email list and everybody that need to hear the gospel.
Email that we can send, or Fred Sunday.
Right.
In which he,
I think it's
you know, that's a little more personal.
being sent from an individual that they know. No printing fees. It's going to be cheaper, and you can reach in. It's also pretty easy to
I've got one.
All right.
I know me and my wife go back and forth with Pearl that she sends an email to.
Okay.
The real good one. What's the family number?
For like 10 years. Romans, I didn't even see it did because so they would know that it was. Every knee shot to Romans. I think every time shot confess that you Christ is.
That should be all for both. A good thing to put on.
Personal email.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You know, and so tell somebody we just need to give that to God. Or she mentioned God at work, so go careful. Plant those seeds. Not a great place. Anything else we move? Again, we talked about
good thing. You have to be careful with links sometimes because there's a lot of information around. You get emails or text links.
it's got a link in it. I'm not clicking.
First, make sure nothing happens.
Right. It's got to be. It would have to be coming from me to you. You know, people you know. Okay. This is where we got to Sunday morning, talking about social media, Facebook, Twitter, all that X now, whatever they call it. But this is we've got another pretty big contact list here, as a congregation, we all have a lot of friends on Facebook. And, this is a good opportunity to start. Page showed me today how you can which I think that might be a good idea. If you post something on of a religious nature on Facebook, you might want to shut down the comments. Because what you don't want to have is what you posted to turn into the comments that goes on. Scriptures, we can post sermons, we can post, articles, all kinds of things we can do. And you'll be amazed at how many something like that. So there, and boy, it goes way down. But we still need to do it. This is a great opportunity. This is not what somebody else is sending out there. When I post it to my Facebook page, that's meant pretty personal. So I think this is the church website, links to it, to the YouTube channel that we have, to the podcast, whatever we want to put on there, and any other area where the truth is taught. We have an opportunity to put it out there in front of, sometimes some of y'all got thousands of friends.
They're not friends.
Yeah, they're not. Friends, the name only.
Nosy people.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of them just want to know what's going on. Any thoughts over that?
Would be another place, but that would be a really good. Twitter to post whenever we have our Bring Your Friend Sunday.
Exactly.
As many ways that we can advertise that.
Right.
And let people know what we really want.
Limited who can post there or not. And people will not know that's there if we don't advertise it. And the best way to advertise something on Facebook is to put it on Facebook. Okay? Spread it that way. And people will find it, and hopefully somebody will check it. None of these are going to go out here and we're going to be overrun with people next Sunday morning lining up to be baptized. Okay? But it's just one. If it's just one, it's worth any effort that we put into it. Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that, ago, we teach participate in a Bible study, we'd meet before school. At school in one of our classrooms, and we haven't done it in a while, but I was thinking about starting it back this year, and I'm a member of with a workbook that, and I was thinking about that. I mean, that's the perfect opportunity because you're bringing in people that may, be, another denomination. You may lessons are geared towards being a teacher and, you know, and dealing with the things that you problems that you have that, through the spiritual, through that survival, that would be, that's a good, I never do anything like that, so I was thinking about, because we haven't done it in a few years, thinking about starting.
Where does
Church, synagogue.
he go to synagogue? Why?
That's what people were, about God are.
Those people were interested in spiritual things, or at least they were claiming. If I remember, the first place he went. Why?
That's where they worship.
They were praying. Yeah, they gathered down there for prayer. So that's what he did. He went and found people who were interested in spiritual things. And, as he was in these towns, generally it progressed on to Gentiles, who in their own way were interested in spirit. He started with those that had a little. Any other comments? That's one of the things one of the reasons I think you probably want to limit maybe some of the comments there. Somebody wants to talk to you, maybe have them. They still instant message. Direct message, okay.
It's DM.
DM?
Yeah,
Okay.
DM.
I'm from the IM age.
Same.
I think that's how the evangelize. That's not a route that I would take, because for me, that's just too impersonal, because I'm a child of social media. I know how what was being spoken. One rotten egg, there's going to be 10 or 20 who are going to come to the defense of me, or get them. Moving on.
Okay, and that might work as well. I mean, that's just a matter of opinion. However you would want to do that.
Right.
I think either way would be fine. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, somebody might have that conversation or have that
Any other comments? All right. Talked about. Well, I'm not sure we talked about text messaging or not. Text messaging, it's going to be, in my opinion, kind of along the email line, coming from you. planting seeds. Okay, you're planting seeds. You never know where one of them might stick. One of the good things about it, again, you can send out a whole lot of times, get the information to people we know, texting after people are asleep. Just be aware of the time of day, but that's another option that is out there. I used to be on all the time. Early, but they were pretty common a few years ago. I think they've gone by the wayside because not as many people listen to just
Responses they ever thought they would. I know, I mean, but they need to do that. It's very well received, but, and that means,
We get it or whatever, like where you can, because a lot of people don't pay for those memberships, so the free ones come with that.
right.
You listen to your podcast or something like that.
They're often going to be. But what? Anybody on what you think about the radio? Uh, but it does give you some interaction. Gets a little interaction with people. In, and you've got a couple of guys on the other end for that or not. I think
This piques my interest because radio on into the loop, in my opinion. I don't know how people feel like when they're driving to work or like to work. Or I think about uh, uh, retro basketball jerseys. Back in the day, are real popular today. Like something like that's going on, maybe, and could place at your local congregations to a podcast and really just share that in a broad space.
all of the audio.
Comments. Okay, could get kickback, comments onto it. So not audio.
Okay. Let's move on here. Used to cannot tell you the last time I sat down and delivered to the house several years. But, you know, used to today, newspaper, and you look forward to that Sunday paper. Yeah, and I think probably the you would get, you'd have to go on a local station, and I don't know.
And there was an article prayer and a divulge. And he asked his prayers. The soldiers who went into that divulge. And it was quite interesting.
I don't know that I've ever read it.
A picture of it by text. People do,
They do.
and that prayer went 100,000 men.
That's is the door to door. This book is almost 20 years old. You might run across somebody these days and knock on it, and they don't know who you are. They're liable not to even answer. Okay, and you come up in twos, they're going to think you're Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons, and they're sure not going to answer.